So I put this one in here, and it is overrated, underrated. And this week's is going to be easy modes in video
Jim,
games.
you're hitting on a hot topic in gaming that's been a hot topic forever.
It's been a hot topic forever, and just within like the last week or two again, it blew up again because like Guru Larry made some statement about, I don't see why you'd ever do it, and it's like having a wank but not doing something or other, blah, 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 blah. And it's that classic argument of, well, if you play it on easy mode, then there's no point in it because you're not playing how the game was intended. Because games are high art, and these developers are really trying to make the best vision possible. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking sick of that argument.
So yeah, can I say one thing about that argument and why it's so goddamn stupid? The worst part of it's not what the developer intended. Well, number one, the developer released it. So whatever's in the game, in theory, and I've learned this the hard way. You actually had this goddamn argument about one of the things you and I talked about, which was the annoyance in playing Halo and how cheap it was to use the cloak and the rocket and the sword.
Nah.
Like you're like, it's in the game. I didn't put a cheat, so it's in there. So blah, blah, blah. Like, and we all know
As I intended.
There's glitches in games, and then there's things that are just in there, and it's bad form. So when you do multiplayer games, I do believe in such thing as, yes, it's in the game, it's available, but it's really meant for people who've like just started. I've talked many times when I play Dead by Daylight, dude. I've never seen a community get so fucking butthurt when you beat, like, especially so it's asymmetrical. You're a killer versus 4 humans, and the humans have to repair generators. Yeah, but here's the deal. Like, if God forbid you actually just win the game, they send you all this shit, and literally I was like, they were calling you a tunneler. They were calling you all these things. I was like, I don't even know what that means. Like, I've just started playing this game. What are you talking about? They're like, that means when you hurt someone and then you keep going after them. I was like, shouldn't
the point?
you do that? They're like, no, because that makes it less competitive because then you take them out of the game. I'm like, once again, like, you're the killer. You're supposed to kill people. They're like, yeah, but you should hurt everyone and not keep going after the same guy. I'm like, but that's not how hunting works. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So that community is a perfect example where, like, they clearly have visions of, like, bad form in a game. You shouldn't camp. You shouldn't do this. Putting all that aside, if a developer releases an easy mode, then you can't use the argument that it's not what they intended because they put it out there. It'd be different if it was like somebody hacked an easy mode, or you did something to add an easy mode after the fact. No, like Demon Souls and Dark Souls and all those games. There's a reason those games are so fucking hard, and there is no easy mode. And some people complain they wish there should be, but that developer said, well, we don't want our art, quote unquote, to be tainted by having an easier mode. We think you should just play the game how it is. So, yeah, you can never use that argument if the developer includes it. That's not how they intended it. So sorry to go off on a rant, but...
And here's another rant for you real quick. And I think we've said it before. Video games can be art, but it doesn't mean that all video games are art.
This is
For
very
the
true.
love of God, don't bitch that this grand design and vision has been compromised because they put in an easy mode for people. Because the big argument for that, I think right now, and I'm probably wrong a little bit on it, but from what I pieced together, the Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think there's an easy mode where, like, I guess in the main mode, like, there might be, like, some kind of permadeath or your characters can die in your party, but in this mode, they don't. Whatever. Yeah. So, what do you call it? Do your pick for overrated, underrated.
Yeah. So, for everyone commenting there, I'm just going to right off the bat, I'm going to say underrated to piss people off, because here's the deal. What everyone who makes those comments about easy mode and da-da-da-da-da, you forget, and Jim and I being 30-year-old dudes, like, video games are meant for kids. And no kid picked up the first game. Yeah, I hate the people that act like growing up in the NES era made you fucking hard or something. Like, they talk about, like, we've talked about them, but Mike Matei is notorious for shitting on, the Switch and the controls for going back. Like, don't act like we went through some hardship growing up. Like it built this strong character in us because we played video games that were a little tougher. That's not real hardship in fucking life. Let's just put that out.
Oh my God. Yes. For the love of God. Like anyone who's ever said, I learned so much and made so much of myself in life because I beat a hard video game.
Don't
the fuck you didn't.
Don't fucking say that sentence.
Just because you beat Ninja Gaiden did not mean that you found a way to get over the death of a loved one to become the CEO of a company. That's never happened once ever.
Yeah. The simplest thing you could say is like, yo.
It was a good distraction.
Games were harder when I was younger. But don't like equate it to like someone like you're equating it to this real life struggle. Like, yo, I lost both my parents when I was a kid and I had to deal with shit versus somebody who had like, I don't like that comparison. So it's like, knock that shit off right off the bat. But easy modes are meant for kids. It's meant for people who are just new to the games. And it's meant for people. Easy modes, the reason why they're underrated is because they can introduce someone who's not hardcore, who hasn't spent their whole life gaming. It gets them invested in a game and playing, because what would be the purpose? The same people that would bitch about people who hate easy modes would be the same people who would go out and try something in real life and realize, man, shit's hard when you got to put a lot of effort. I don't want to do this no more. So easy mode is that easy, like it allows you to come in, try it, see, is this something I generally like? If you like it enough, then you kind of develop into a better player.
Then you become better. Then you put the time in.
Exactly. And easy modes are meant for single player. I look at that as a single player thing. Multiplayer games, that's completely off, you know, you're going to get thrown in there with people of your same rank,
actually,
whatever.
Even then,
there's
a good way to do it. And we talked about it, I think, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe threw in like the kind of like safe play mode for like newer players.
Yeah.
And I actually saw this in real life with my wife, because she would play it with us, and as a default for the second player, it would put you on like safety guided mode. So she could still have fun and still be competitive. And then
exactly,
like we realized that, like, you know, she was on it, so we turned it off. She hit every single wall she could, and she was getting lapped left and right, and she wasn't having any fun.
Yeah.
So like I know easy mode now is different than easy mode when we were kids, because when we were kids, not to sound old, but what the hell I am, like it was almost like perfect how they would do it in some games, where it's not only a little bit easier, but you wouldn't be able to play the entire game. It would cut you off halfway through, or it'd give you a bad ending if you beat on easy mode, and it would say, hey, go back and play it on medium so you can see the real thing and play everything. So yeah, it was a good way to learn how to play the game without just getting pissed off and throwing it away.
Yeah, but no, so going back, so it's underrated for that one reason. Keeps people invested, and at the end of the day, video games are supposed to be fun. Fuck looking at them. If you want, I consider some games an art form, sure. Stop consider, like, it's a fun form of escapism, of entertainment. So if you're not having fun, you don't want to play. And also, for Jim and I, when we review multiple games, especially games we've never played, if we need footage to show you guys, and if a game is good enough, we're going to go through on harder modes. But if it's easier for us to spend only 3 or 4 hours to go through and beat the whole game so we get to see what the story's like, versus 12 to 16 hours that we don't have, it's a godsend when games do have that, because then we can still say, all right, this is what the story's like. And then we can expand on what our take is on the game. So there's really no reason for a game not to have an easy mode. Once again, unless you're like Dark Souls and all that, and that's just your vision of, I don't play this game if you want an easy mode.
Then fine.
I respect that.
Yeah. That's
absolutely fine with me. But I hate when people get mad or like talk shit on others that what value do you have that you beat RE3 on fucking Inferno mode versus the guy who beat it on easy mode? You saw the same ending. Yes, the guy on easy mode could do it a hell of a lot faster and didn't have to learn the perfect dodge and all that. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you did it. Good job. I just don't see the value in shitting on others who played easy mode. Now, here's the deal. If say Jim was being a shit dick and was like, I beat that game just like you, and I did it on easy mode. And I was like, I beat it on Inferno. And he's like, well, I'm just as good as you. There's an argument.
Then fine.
There's where you can brass tacks, you get down to it. But before then, you just say, okay, yeah, what'd you think of the story? Like, that's all you got to get down to. But if you're trying to fucking compare yourself to other guys by saying you're a better gamer, that goes back to, like, what are you doing? Just what are you doing?
Right. So I'll give my answer just to get out of the way. And it's obviously overrated because the developer's vision for the story is the most important thing. And we have to be true gamers and learn to persevere through hardships. So
I don't believe you, Jim.
obviously it's overrated. Get good, Scrubs. Mic drop.
Now,
I don't have a mic drop.
Now, what's your real answer?
Oh, completely underrated. Come on now.
Yeah, of course. Here's the deal. Other than the tired answers, like Jim just jokingly said, I would love to know why. I would love to know why somebody would think this is overrated. Because it's not like having an easy mode impedes on your ability. If you choose to do normal or hard, the fact that there's an easy mode doesn't affect you at all. And in fact, they put every incentive out there, whether you're someone like who is obsessed with winning trophies or challenges from Xbox, or you unlock shit in a game. They do enough incentives, like you unlock more and get more shit for doing the harder modes. So even if you're an achievement hunter, there you go. Like, there's a reason for it. So it's not like they incentivize playing the easy mode. And as Jim alluded to, NES games would shit on you and be like, well, you did it easy. Try again on hard or normal. So what reason would you have to shit on easy mode? If somebody only wants to play easy mode and go through it, let them be. Just, I don't get it.